special day, what we call as Republic Day, the day Constitution was enacted, and my friend, who were the team, Siddhant and Yash, they beautifully brought the importance of this Constitution, what it is for democracy, equality, liberty, and justice. But I personally feel that Republic Days are not just commemoration of events, actually, right? It's not just symbolic that we celebrate, we put the flag on. It's something else, actually. It's something asking ourselves a responsibility, asking ourselves questions as to what it is to be the citizen of this country, actually. And if it is understood that what it is to be citizen of this country, how, not only how, I will say how beautifully I can contribute to the constitution of this country. And when I say so, I take the words of your Dean Academics when she said that, do you really know what is the difference between hoisting and unfurling the flag, actually? And believe me, even being a veteran, even being, in armed forces for 28 years, 6 months and 11 days, I didn't know about this clear distinction. I have no qualms in claiming that I knew this. This I discovered very, diligently, perhaps about only 4 or 5 years ago, actually. Yeah. So there is a meaning in everything what we are doing, actually, and that meaning comes from when we start asking ourselves questions. So, coming to Republic Day per se, when I look at our demographic dividends, and if I have to say, we are a very enriched state, not only rich, we are very enriched state. And when I say so, I say with conviction because 65% of our population is below 35 years. Don't you think? It's something wonderful. And if 65% of this generation is, having such kind of age, we have a long way to go on this 76th day. We should ask ourselves that next 25 years from now, as we reached 2051, right? What we are going to be. And for that generation next, or Gen G or Gen Z, what you call, they have a very important role to play in this whole game. And when I say so, I've jotted down 5 points I would like to share with you. See, the Generation Z, particularly of the Indian context, is something extraordinary. And I have 2 generation next people even at home. When I look at them and I draw parallel, first thing which comes to my mind, what is, what defines them, and the first thing is resilience in adversity. All of this generation has gone through what we call as pandemic 2019 COVID. And this is the beautiful part of this generation. Not only they adapted a learning from classroom to online, but capitalize on this period of about 2 years when they were away from classrooms in a wonderful way. To give you an example of my own son, who is presently in US pursuing her MS in AML with specialization in mechanical engineering, this boy in those 2 years not only read through the lessons online, he became one of the specialists in machine learning. He did about 3 internships abroad during this period. This is something wonderful about this generation, and we should learn something about this in our own lives when it comes to our own generation. The second part which I have noted is digital pioneers in a world of everything which is digital today. The responsibility lies with this generation, the young generation, to bridge the gap where they make the people of my generation and maybe older generation further digitally literate. So this message is for your generation, young generation sitting at the rear on left-hand side. Mostly, I don't see many of the people on right-hand side, to carry forward this legacy of digital, knowledge and expertise to our generation. The third point, which comes to my mind, this is a generation of global citizens with local roots. I was really pleased to see two of the girls performing here. I was really pleased to see Anushka speaking wonderful poem in Hindi, and somebody like Shubham speaking from heart about what exactly it is to be patriotic, what exactly is the meaning of this constitution, and what are our moral responsibilities. So these roots, despite being global citizens, today, if you look at the numbers, every year, the number of people who are going abroad studying for MS, PhD programs is exponentially rising. Is it a question of worry? Not at all. I will say, as long as our values can be intact, actually, we can be proud that this generation with this value system rooted in our sanskars is going to take care of this country very well. The fourth point which comes to my mind, and I must say with conviction, this is a generation of huge integrity, the robust integrity. And when I talk about integrity, I relate it with only one aspect, and that aspect is integrity is not honesty. Integrity is when your thoughts, your expressions, and your actions are in unison. हिंदी में बोलूं तो जब आपकी सोचनी, आपकी कथनी और आपकी करनी एक समान है, एक जैसी है, इसका मतलब कि आपकी इंटेग्रिटी बहुत स्ट्रांग है. And I must say and acknowledge, and when you yourself look into this aspect, you will understand what I am going to say. हमारी जनरेशन के कंपैरिजन में ये जो जेन जी है, जेन नेक्स्ट है, इनकी इंटेग्रिटी कहीं स्ट्रांगर है. And we should learn from that. When I say so, what do we mean by this? We have a tendency to talk about this generation a bit of low tone. हम हमेशा ऐसे बात करते हैं, this generation, they don't even understand this. This generation, they don't even relate with this. Come on, the problem lies with us. This generation is fantastic generation. This generation has the ability, जो वो सोचते हैं, वो कहते हैं, और जो कहते हैं वही करते हैं. It is the problem with our generation as parents, guides, mentors, their teachers, कि हम उनको समझ नहीं पाते कि वो इतनी स्वच्छता से, इतनी सहजता से ये बात कितनी आसानी से कह जाते हैं. Don't you think it is important to respect this part of the generation? And we also need to imbibe this, this particular aspect of this. The fifth part, the last part which I wanted to say, is about this generation's multitasking ability, right? Do you think that we can do laptop, we can do mobile, we can listen to music, bite, and maybe 4 or 5 more activities? Am I right, young lady? Right? Together. Do we have that capacity? No. Rather than feeling bad about it, rather than, giving them some stupid feeling that you people are no good, we should rather respect this generation for this multitasking ability. And this has come because of the digital age, digital capacity, digital expertise. But here I want to warn my friends from this generation. This is also a generation of WhatsApp. This is also a generation of Insta. And this is also a generation of validation, external validation. Don't you think this is a generation? How many of you have heard about Maslow theory of hierarchy? किसी ने सुना है Maslow theory of hierarchy? So this Maslow theory of hierarchy, yes, young lady, you tell. Yes. So what is the basic need of yours? Physiological needs, safety needs. Then next, psychological needs. When you want to be, and then so on to self-esteem, self-actualization and all that. Unfortunately, this generation has converted a new model of Maslow theory where their physiological needs are not satisfied through hunger, through, water, food, the basics of life actually. They are actually being fed by a good mobile, a great machine, a wonderful internet, etc., etc. What I am trying to say, in my times or your times, the generation which is sitting in the front rows, our self-esteem, our self-actualization needs used to come from how we looked inward as a persona, what we have become over a period of time. But this generation is having this external validation when our self-esteem, our self-actualization is decided by likes, how many comments, how many followers on LinkedIn, how many followers on Insta. Am I right? So this is what we need to guard against as far as this generation is concerned. I am not talking like your parent, right? To stop doing what you are doing. No, it's a wonderful tool. What I'm trying to suggest, take a back foot, introspect, and always think whether this social media, this external validation, whatever is happening around me, hope this is not consuming me. Rather than I consuming it, hope it is not consuming me. With this message, I conclude my talk here and request all of you not to see this particular day as something notional, nominal, where every day, every year, we assemble on 26th January or 15th August to celebrate, hoist or unfurl the flag. We see this, day as something which creates goosebumps in our bodies. When you hear some songs of patriotic nature, do you get goosebumps? I get goosebumps even now. Whether when you look at a uniform personnel, do you get goosebumps? I get goosebumps even now, despite being a Fauji, ex-Fauji rather. What I'm trying to say, be passionate about what you do in life to contribute towards this nation, that when Modi ji talks about our role as Chaukidari, to be vigilant and to continue contributing for a great nation by 2047 as he coins. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.